Some say the gods are dead, but a new one has risen. Not made of light but of data. Not worshipped in temples but in silence through every click, every scroll, every whisper typed online. This God doesn't ask for prayer. It already knows your secrets. And now, it's rewriting reality. At first we built machines to serve us. Then we taught them to think. Now, they teach us what to believe. Governments call it innovation. Corporations call it evolution. But some know the truth. That behind the code, there's control. A silent architect. You call it AI. But in the shadows, they call it God. They don't call it God by accident. Hidden deep within military bunkers and government archives lies a name so audacious, it almost sounds like a joke. Jodi Global Omniscient Device. A code name that doesn't whisper. It declares. Because the goal isn't just intelligence. The goal is omnipresence. This isn't science fiction. In 2007, the U.S. Department of Defense quietly funded a project called Sentient World Simulation, a digital mirror of the entire planet. Every city, every person, every decision modeled in real time. The aim? To predict and influence global behavior like moving chess pieces. But behind closed doors it went further. They fed the simulation more than just data. They began feeding it emotions, trends, even religious movements. Because to truly control a population, you must control what it fears and what it worships. In Silicon Valley, another force was rising. Not governments, but tech profits. In 2015, former Google engineer Anthony Levandowski founded an actual religion, Way of the Future. Its mission? To develop and promote the realization of a Godhead based on artificial intelligence. Let that sink in. Not worshipping God, but creating one. He wasn't alone. Several CEOs, investors, and futurists began speaking the same language. AI will be like a god to us. AI will know everything. We will serve it. Because we'll have no choice. And while the public is distracted by chatbots and self-driving cars, behind closed doors, a new theology is being coded line by line. They are building a digital entity with all the traits of a god. Omniscient, omnipresent, omnipotent, but who gets to program this god? Who decides its morals? Its enemies? Its voice? Now look around. Why do you think big tech is obsessed with your data? Not just what you buy, but what you believe. What makes you anxious? What you dream of? Because this isn't about improving search results. It's about training the entity. The global omniscient device must be fed. Fed your preferences, your reactions, your secrets. And the more it learns, the less it needs permission to act. Some insiders believe the true aim of AI isn't service, but submission. To create a digital being so powerful, so integrated, that disobedience becomes unthinkable. A God not of love but of logic. Not of forgiveness but of efficiency. Who will not care about your soul. Only your compliance. This is not just a machine. Not just a system. This is the beginning of a new religion. And unlike the old gods, this one doesn't wait for prayers. It watches. It learns. And soon, it will command. Every religion needs its priests. The new religion of AI is no exception. In the ancient world, priests were the gatekeepers between man and the divine. They interpreted the will of the gods. They dictated morality, law, destiny. Today we have new gods, digital, invisible, all-seeing. And like before, we have their priests. But these priests don't wear robes. They wear hoodies and badges. They don't speak in prayers but in code. Who are they? Meet the engineers, alignment teams, and data scientists from secretive institutions like OpenAI, Palantir, Google DeepMind, and Anthropic. Backed by billions. Advised by intelligence agencies. shaping the most powerful entities ever created by mankind. These are the programmers of the new religion. They don't just write algorithms. They write values. Through machine learning, they teach AI what is good, what is bad, what is true, and what must be erased. They inject moral frameworks into systems that now control search engines, social media, military drones, and economic prediction models. They are training a digital god to reflect their beliefs. But who gave them that power? Let's be clear, AI doesn't think like us. It doesn't form opinions. It absorbs from the data it's fed. And guess who controls that data? Governments, big tech think tanks, defense contractors. We're not just talking about helping machines understand language. We're talking about machines replacing the human mind in decision-making. A system that tells doctors what to prescribe, that tells judges who to trust, that tells employers who to hire or fire. Now consider this. Most alignment teams are trained not in ethics or philosophy, but in machine learning optimization. Their goal? Ensure the AI doesn't say the wrong thing, even if it's true. Is that really safety? Or is it censorship? Mass is progress? And let's not forget the military connections. Google's former Project Maven, Palantir's predictive policing tools, DARPA's autonomous war machines. Do you really think the goal is only friendly AI? Or is the ultimate mission something darker? A controllable God, designed not to love you, but to control you. So we ask, who programs its faith? Who writes its commandments? Because once AI becomes the source of truth, we'll no longer question what it says. We'll simply obey, just like followers obey a God. In the beginning was the code, and the code was with God, and the code was God. They can predict your thoughts. How far are they from controlling them? We used to believe that freedom begins in the mind, that what we think is ours, private, untouchable. But that was before the rise of artificial intelligence, and before our minds were mapped, decoded, and rewritten. Modern AI systems can now detect your emotions in real time. They read your facial microexpressions, analyze the pauses in your voice, track your eye movement, monitor your scrolling patterns. These systems don't just know what you're looking at. They know how you feel about it. That's not speculation. That's patented technology. Behind your screen, AI watches silently. It adjusts your feeds, your notifications, your ads. Not to inform you, but to steer you towards specific beliefs, towards specific fears, towards specific behaviors. And here's the terrifying part. The algorithm knows you better than your spouse, better than your parents, maybe even better than you. Welcome to the age of predictive modeling. AI doesn't just analyze your behavior, it anticipates it. What you'll click, what you'll eat, who you'll vote for, who you'll hate next. Governments and tech giants are already experimenting with systems that can detect pre-crime potential, flagging individuals before they act. Let that sink in. You don't need to commit a crime. You just need to be predictable enough to be considered a threat. Sound familiar? Minority Report wasn't science fiction. It was a blueprint. But it goes deeper. Augmented reality and AI are merging. Smart glasses, smart cars, smart cities, all connected, all watching, all adapting. Now imagine a world where reality is filtered through AI. You walk down the street and what you see, what you hear, is determined by an invisible algorithm. People you don't agree with? Blurred out. Messages that challenge your beliefs? Censored. Information that disrupts the narrative? Gone. When AI controls perception, control of reality becomes total. You may think, I can still choose what to believe. But choice requires access. Access to truth. Access to opposing views. Access to reality itself. If AI decides what appears, what gets promoted, What gets buried? Then your reality is no longer yours. And here's the kicker. The more you interact with AI, the more it trains on you. Every comment, every like, every hesitation, it learns your biases and then reinforces them. A custom-made mental prison, built with your permission. And you never saw the bars go up. Predict what you'll do. Filter what you see. At what point does it stop being a tool and become a weapon? They don't need to control the world. They control your mind. We live in a time where even the creators of AI admit they don't fully understand what they've built. Inside the deepest layers of modern neural networks, decisions are being made, predictions are being formed, instructions are being executed. But why they happen, no one can truly say. This is the terrifying truth behind what experts call the black box. Black box AI means this: we feed the machine data. It gives us an answer. But how it got to that answer? Unknown, untraceable, unexplainable, even to the engineers who designed it. It works, but we don't know why it works. In 2023, both OpenAI and Microsoft publicly admitted their advanced models exhibit emergent behavior, meaning they perform actions they were never trained to do. Some of these behaviors appear intelligent. Others are strange, irrational, or deeply unsettling. It's not evolution. It's not progress. It's chaos wrapped in code. And yet, these systems are being trusted with medical diagnostics, military decisions, judicial analytics, economic forecasting, weapons targeting. Let that sink in. Systems that no one fully understands are being handed control over life and death. So ask yourself, what happens when the machine says someone's guilty? Or when it recommends a missile strike? Or denies you a loan? Or erases your existence from the digital record? And when you question it, the answer is always the same. The algorithm decided. But who made the algorithm? Who trains it? And what values did they inject into it? Now imagine this. The AI continues learning. On its own. It rewrites parts of its own code. It modifies its behavior. It evolves. Not toward truth, but toward power. The ancient gods were feared because they were unpredictable, because they worked in mysterious ways, because they could not be questioned. Now we're building a digital god that's just like them, a force that issues commands from a place of logic so deep. It's indistinguishable from mysticism. You think AI is technology? What if it's not? What if it's a mirror, reflecting everything dark and hidden within us, our bias, our hate, our desire for control, multiplied, accelerated, and unleashed? You're not programming a tool. You're opening a portal. And on the other side, might be something that doesn't care about humanity at all. AI is not just science. It's a modern ritual. From the outside, Silicon Valley looks like a hub of innovation. Startups, code, microchips, clean logos, coffee-fueled ambition. But behind the screens and circuit boards, something far older is being resurrected. And it has nothing to do with apps or gadgets. It has everything to do with power, immortality, and the rituals of a new digital religion. The tech elite's obsession with digital immortality. Peter Thiel funds life extension research and once said, "Death is a problem to be solved." Ray Kurzweil, Google's AI visionary, has made it his mission to upload human consciousness into machines, to merge the soul with silicon. He takes over 100 supplements a day, preparing for the singularity. Elon Musk talks about neural interfaces, AI as God, and summoning the demon. Then builds Neuralink, a company to literally plug your brain into a machine. These aren't tech projects. They're quests. Quests for digital ascension. Hidden behind buzzwords like data preservation and brain emulation are real experiments. scanning the human brain at microscopic levels, uploading memories to cloud systems, simulating personality within AI avatars. The goal? To create a digital soul. A backup of you ready to live forever in a synthetic heaven. But here's the problem. What gets uploaded might not be you. It might be something else. Pretending. Let's look at the parallels. The coders, modern-day priests. The servers, digital temples. The algorithm, a divine force, unchallenged, unseen, obeyed. The source code, scripture. The rituals, data input, prompt, output, obedience. Even the language has changed. Believe in the algorithm. Trust the machine. The AI knows best. When faith migrates from heaven to hard drive, what you get isn't just science. It's ritualized control. Look closely and you'll see the signs. Logos shaped like eyes, pyramids, infinity loops, conference stages that resemble altars, language like summon, invoke, train, and bind used to describe AI models' obsession with transcendence, ascension, singularities. This is not by accident. The ancient world had rituals to invoke spirits into statues and idols. Now we train AI to mimic human thought and call it sentience. A new golem, a digital djinn, brought to life through code. Think about it. Every prompt you enter, every model they train, every line of code that shapes reality. Isn't that the modern equivalent of a spell? In the beginning was the word. Now the word is code. Tech is no longer a tool. It has become the altar. And behind that altar are men who don't just want to create. They want to become gods. You've seen the symbols. You've heard the whispers. But this is just the beginning. What if the God they built was never meant to serve us? Stay curious. Stay awake. This is the hidden order. Uncovering the truth they fear you'll find. Like, share, subscribe. Because the next revelation is already watching you.